They told me St. Agnes Hospital closed for good after the big storm back in '99. Abandoned. Condemned. Just left to the mercy of time and weather. But tonight, a voice crackled through my radio, weak but desperate, begging for help. The signal was coming from inside that very building. I couldn't just ignore it. Pulling up to the crumbling facade, I could feel the silence pressing in. The neon sign flickered erratically, casting a sickly glow on the rain-slick street. This place felt wrong, like a forgotten tomb. But a call is a call. With a deep breath, I grabbed my gear and headed towards the entrance. They said it was closed. But someone was clearly in there. The air inside was thick, heavy with the smell of dust and decay. A slight beam cut through the darkness, revealing a scene of total desolation. Broken gurneys, faded charts scattered like dead leaves. It was a wreck. Then, my radio hissed again. "Help! Please!" The voice sounded closer now, almost like a whisper in my ear. A chill, cold and sharp, traced a line down my spine. This was no ordinary call. Followed, the sound through the labyrinth of dark corridors. It felt like walking through a memory, each step echoing into the void. As I approached the emergency room, the double doors swung open on their own, a silent, ghostly invitation. Inside, a single light flickered over the reception desk. A nurse, dressed in an old-fashioned, crisp white uniform, was writing on a chart sheet. Looked up and smiled, but her face was unnaturally pale, almost translucent. "You made it," she said, her voice calm, yet unsettling. "Thank you. We're in desperate need of help tonight." My training kicked in, pushing past the weirdness of it all. I tried to radio for backup, but my radio was dead. My phone, no signal. The hospital was a complete dead zone. The nurse didn't seem to notice my struggle. She just beckoned me to follow her. "This way," she urged, her footsteps making no sound on the dusty floor. "It's a little girl. She's been waiting." She led me to a patient room. A small girl, maybe 7 or 8 years old, was lying on a bed, her breathing shallow, punctuated by a weak, rattling cough. I knelt beside her, reaching for my stethoscope. Her skin was as cold as ice. The feeling was deeply wrong. People aren't that cold, unless I push the thought away. "What are her symptoms?" I asked the nurse. "She needs her medicine," the nurse replied, her voice soft but with a strange, urgent edge. "It's in the cabinet. Please, hurry." I turned to the medicine cabinet, its glass door clouded with grime. Bottles inside were ancient, their labels faded and peeling. Most of them were empty, coated in a thick layer of dust. I couldn't possibly administer any of this. It was all decades out of date. I spun around to ask the nurse for more information, to tell her this was impossible, but she was gone. The room was empty, except for me and the little girl. She was staring at me, her eyes wide and unnervingly dark. "Dongu," she whispered, her voice a dry rasp. "They don't like it when you try to leave." A wave of pure panic washed over me. They? Who were they? I bolted from the room, my heart hammering against my ribs. I ran through the halls, trying to find my way back to the entrance, but every door I opened just led to another identical maze-like corridor. The hospital seemed to be twisting and shifting around me. Shadowy figures in hospital gowns drifted past in my peripheral vision, their faces blank, their movements silent. I could hear the faint rhythmic beep of heart monitors, the gentle hum of machines that had no business having power. This place wasn't just abandoned, it was alive. I finally burst back into the main lobby, gasping for breath, screaming for anyone to help, and there she was, the nurse standing in front of the main doors, blocking my only exit. Her polite smile was gone, replaced by something grotesque and inhuman. Her smile stretched impossibly wide, and her eyes went completely black, like two empty voids. "You're just in time," she hissed, her voice echoing with a dozen other whispers. "We're always in need of one more." The world around me started to dissolve into a blinding white light as alarms, deafening and shrill, blared from every direction. I threw my arms up to shield my eyes, and then, nothing. I woke up with a jolt, gasping for air. I was in the back of my own ambulance, parked right where I'd left it in front of St. Agnes. The rain had stopped. The sun was just starting to rise, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. It had to have been a nightmare, a stress-induced hallucination. I stumbled out of the ambulance, my legs shaky. That's when I saw them. City workers, erecting wooden boards over the hospital's main entrance. "Hey, what's going on?" I yelled, running towards them. I was just inside. "There are people in there. They need help." One of the workers turned to me, his face a mask of confusion. "Son, you must be mistaken. This place has been sealed shut for 25 years. Nobody's been in or out of St. Agnes since the flood of '99. My blood ran cold. I looked back at the hospital, up at the rows of dark, empty windows. And for just a second, I saw them. In the highest window on the top floor, the nurse and the little girl stood side by side, watching me. They were just silhouettes against the morning light, but I knew it was them. As the last board was hammered into place, they faded from view. I got back in my ambulance and drove, my hands shaking so badly I could barely grip the wheel. I just had to get away. It was then that I noticed something on the passenger seat. It was a faded, laminated hospital ID badge. It wasn't mine. It had a picture of the nurse, her name, and a date. October 31st, 1999. In my rearview mirror, for a terrifying split second, I saw the freshly boarded-up doors of the ER swing open, as if beckoning me to come back. They told me the hospital was closed since 1999. So who, or what, did I just talk to? Thanks for watching this spooky story. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss another chilling tale. Stay safe out there.